Good evening, assorted creatures and corporeal or non-corporeal beings who are joining me tonight. Welcome. I am coming to you in a different capacity than I usually do. Normally, I talk shit and do not really focus on, well, today I will be reading I'll be reading my friend's tarot cards from my favorite Hieronymus Bosch Tarot deck. This deck is incredible. It has different suits, it has different sins, and overall it's my favorite. So, a friend of mine, I'll call him Aldous. I think he'll like that. Has agreed to allow me to read his cards. And since I've had incredible feedback from the other times that I've read tarot, I decided to record the reading because if it's a success, I might list readings in my Etsy shop or something. I don't know. But before we begin, I have certain very important witchy rituals to attend to. I'll be right back. The major arcana has different, some of the cards in the major arcana have different names and slightly different meanings. So, for the purpose of this reading, I'm going to let you know the minor arcana suits and what they sort of symbolize. Berries symbolize earth. It seems perhaps a pentacle sort of thing. Abundance, fertility, harmony, joy, friendship. The suit of birds, understandably, is the air element. Movement, travel, and personal growth. Skates is the water and metal element. I guess that makes sense. I was going to try to make a play on where the rubber meets the road, but I don't think that went very well. Sorry. Skill and ability. Conflict and oh, god damn it, that's the wrong one too. Skates. Water and metal. Trouble. Difficulties. Indecision. And fun. I imagine foolishness is also. Anyway, we do have swords. Swords made it. Being metal and fire. Skill and ability. Conflict and victory. Standard. Vessels, which are cups in this sense. Water. Untamed activity. Blessing. Sins and salvation. So less to do with emotion than normal. The suit of books, earth and air, knowledge, intelligence, and learning. Yeah. The suit of coins, I guess that's pentacles for fuck's sake. Metal, business, career, success, wealth, and money. And finally, the suit of sins. Fire. Yeah. The troubles and desires of the human condition. I love this deck so much. I love Bosch. I'm going to cut the deck now. Normally, I ask the person that I'm reading for to do it. And I only ever do 3-card spreads. I understand that a lot of other people like the more complicated constellations or whatever. I think that the 3-card spread is perfect, at least for me. So, we're responding to a particular question that I'll just ask, which is, what am I missing? So, do they do reverse? I think they do. They do. Oh gosh. Very, very close to an accident. So we're not going to be reading reverse for this deck. And we're going to... Well, here we go. This is Aldous's recent past. This is a problem that Aldous is currently facing. This will have to do with whatever he believes, whatever he is missing. And this card will have to do with how to solve the problem, essentially. And usually incorporates the past card with a plan on moving forward. All right, Rob. God damn it. I knew it. I always do this. I hope you don't mind not being anonymous. So, are you ready? The first card, the Christ Child. Excuse me. I didn't know you were that important. Oh, so the Christ Child is in the Major Arcana. Excuse me. And I need to find him. I still read from the book. I always do. Partially because it erases any uncertainty that the person I'm reading for might have, that I might be cold reading them. Essentially, trying to guess based on their subtle cues, which I always miss anyway, so that they can sort of make the connections rather than me. Anyway, the Christ Child. There, of course, is quite a bit of hellscapes, hell imagery, which is, I just love it. Okay, so, the Christ Child. This is the 19th card in the Major Arcana. The meaning is birth, children, learning, new beginnings. The meaning behind the Christ Child contains some of the same spirit as the traditional 19th card, the Sun. However, the exuberance has been removed. Here, a young child is learning how to walk by using a walking frame, a kind of antiquated baby walker. And this is the image of the Christ Child. Antiquated baby walker. Antiquated baby walker. I think that people should warm up with that before they do improv. Using a walking frame, a kind of antiquated baby walker. It is an extremely unusual depiction of Jesus, and Bosch utilized this image on the reverse side of his painting, Christ Carrying the Cross. The contrast is both obvious and surprising. Artists most commonly depict Jesus as either an infant in arms, as an adult in the act of ministering, or in the various stages of crucifixion, which I always thought that Jesus wouldn't approve of. It's like, oh, great, like, let's depict me at, like, my very, very lowest moment. Anyway. To show the creator of the universe learning a basic skill, like walking, was meant to highlight his mortal, human attributes, while setting the stage for his later struggles in bearing the cross. See, this deck is incredible. Hold on, I'm internalizing. I'm synthesizing. The child pictured on this card, while possessed of the potential for greatness, has some baby steps to take before reaching that level of grandeur. The message is clear. We all have lessons to learn, no matter how advanced, skilled, or knowledgeable we might be. There are always more rocks to turn over, and more doors to be opened. I really, really love that I started referring to my friend as Aldous, and the first card talks about doors being opened, i.e. doors of perception. Read it. So, what I'm getting is that while you have been responsible for yourself and acting as an adult, taking care of yourself independently for quite some time, I think that there are still you haven't grown up yet, I don't think. And not because you haven't been through enough, because you certainly have. More, I think... Well, I think that you reveal a lot of what's going on in your question of what am I missing? The idea that you are missing something and don't know what it is, that's an incomplete idea. Nobody's going to be able to tell you what you're missing with any... Nobody's going to be more right about what you're missing than you are. And also, people talk about finding themselves and like finding things that they're missing. I think it's more a deciding thing, though. I think we decide who we are. And I think that we decide what we want and what we're missing. That said, it seems that you are fairly socially isolated. I think that you keep people at an emotional arm's length, and that you have a lot of difficulty talking about your emotions and allowing your emotions to foster growth, especially growth in your interpersonal relationships. So, let's see what's next. The second card, which again represents a problem that you are currently facing, is the Page of Berries. This is a much more lighthearted looking card. That looks like it's from the Heavenscape of Garden of Earthly Delights. So, the Page of Berries. Excuse me. The meaning: helpful, giving, sharing, a friend. A naked youth lying on the ground, handing a large berry to the bird perched on his foot. The Page of Berries has a child's understanding of the suit, and therefore his action is entirely innocent. He has provided the bird with a safe and comfortable place to rest, and now he will provide nourishment for this bird as well. There is nothing expected in return, for the bird has nothing to offer besides companionship. The symbology here is one of friendship and charity, giving or receiving help without strings attached and with an open heart. I I actually need a minute because my nose is really clogged and I want to blow it in a very unflattering way. And we're back. Excuse me. Here's a trick for any of you with sinus problems. To clear your sinuses, press against the center of your forehead and between your eyes, not too hard, while pressing your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Do that, count to 20, do it for 20 seconds, and it will usually do it. Yes, so, this is very sweet, because I think that what you're missing is companionship. I think that what you're missing is a community of people who you talk to regularly, who check in with you, who you can call if you're having a bad day. And a lot of people our age struggle with maintaining friendships when they're not in proximity, because it's hard to remember even, like, oh, I haven't spoken to this person in a long time, or this person only ever reaches out to me, I never reach out to them, maybe I should do that. Or just checking in with certain people every couple days. Those are all things that I've learned to incorporate into my own interpersonal relationships that fosters continuous just growth and interpersonal support and just intimacy, an emotional intimacy that comes of close friendships. Friends who just are going through life, checking in with one another, comparing notes, and offering support. I wonder if you find it difficult to trust people. I have no idea why that would be. I'm going to look at the Page of Berries again. Abundance, fertility, harmony, joy, and friendship. Yeah. What makes you happy? what brings you joy? Because you suffer a lot. I know that. And I imagine, excuse me, it seems that you've spent so much time taking care of other people. And that's another thing, is like you seem to give of yourself a lot. And that is incredible. And a lot of people have struggled to do that. However, it is also helping other people to let them help you. They want to. Because it fosters, that way they know that trust, bonding, again, intimacy, camaraderie, community. These are, and like also just joy. Like, and of course, like, who has time for joy when we're like in late stage capitalism, when you're a millennial? I get that. Although I do think that happiness and joy can be cultivated over time, and almost like, and that you can subsist off small joys for a very long time. So, next card. This is the final card, which will have to do with how to maneuver your way out of this problem, or how things may unfold. Now we have, I love this. We have the Conjurer, the first card of the Major Arcana, aka the Magician. And the Magician is in the story of the Major Arcana. You have the Fool first, who doesn't really know where he's going. He doesn't really know what he wants. He doesn't really, he's not fully in control of his capacities. He's not quite sure what he's good at, or what his goals are, what he intends to do, what kind of mark he wants to leave on the world. The Magician is self-actualized. That the Magician is the individual who knows their strengths, knows their weaknesses, knows how to apply them, and knows when to ask for help. Anyway, that's just my take, but here we go. We're going to read that. The Conjurer 1. Abilities, creation, deception. The Conjurer gives an almost perfect image of the Magician as found in classic tarot decks. Upon the table are the tools of his trade, only lacking the sword. This Conjurer, however, has a few more tricks up his sleeve than the traditional Magician. The classic shell game he has set up on the table is only part of the Conjurer's routine. There is an owl hiding in his basket and a tiny dog dressed as an elf or demon behind the table. Let's check that out. So, this is the elf. This is the dog demon. Where is the... Yes, and here is the little guy, owl, in his basket. Okay. These animals will be conjured for the audience as easily as the golden ball in his hand, and once the demon dog jumps through the hoop a few times for the audience's amazement, the conjurer will be assured plenty of tips. Although the conjurer is tricking the audience, he isn't doing it with a malicious motivation. They are, after all, being entertained for a few moments, so it's not like he's stealing their money and leaving them with nothing. The conjurer's facial expression suggests he's performed this routine so often that the joy of the act is gone. More importantly, he's perfected his art to the point where he can perform it even when his heart isn't feeling the passion it first felt when he began his craft. The conjurer is, at his core, a performer, an actor, and a storyteller. This is the creative person who has the ability to spin gold out of straw and possesses a healthy dose of sales ability. If this painting had been created in the time of the Wild West, the conjurer might be represented as a patent medicine salesman, snake oil. Any deception indicated by this card is not malicious and is more likely to be information that has simply not yet been revealed. You don't talk about your feelings. You don't allow yourself to be vulnerable with the people you care about, and yet you expect them to be vulnerable with you, and that's not fair. It may seem like you're giving and not getting, but for me personally, I treasure the opportunities that I get to support my friends when they're having difficult times. Not because I look forward to them having difficult times, but because it means so much to me when my friends are there for me when I need them. And I feel so good when my friends are there for me. And I want to make other people feel that good too. So, I think that really covers it regarding your emotional life and your interpersonal relationships, how they might be lacking in your life, and how they possibly might bring you joy. If although it does require submitting to the mortifying ordeal of being known. However, how could you expect other people to let you know them if you don't show them yourself too? All right, this is done, and I guess I'll put in the description what Aldous thought of this reading. All right, bye.